Hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect. So in this video we are going to understand how to create Trello cards for received emails. So do you also wish to create Trello cards for all your emails in just few seconds? Then this video is definitely for you. So over here I'm managing a customer support team of an edutech company and we receive many emails. So to organize all of my emails systematically, what I want is that as soon as a new email is received, automatically with the help of the same email details, a new card should be created in my Trello account. So to do this, we are going to create a connection between email parser and Trello. To create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So do you also wish to learn this process step by step? Then let me take you to my computer screen. Welcome to my screen. So as you know, in this video we are going to understand how to create Trello card for received email. So as you know that I manage customer support team for edutech company and we receive many emails daily from students and potential clients. So now what I want is that as soon as we receive a new inquiry, query or a request, over here a new Trello card should be created with the same details. As you can see that I've already created a Trello card. Over here you can see that this was the subject of the mail. You can see that we have received this email from this email address, and as you can see the email content too. So yes, I've successfully created this Trello card with the help of my workflow. So I've created this with the help of an amazing automation software which is Pabbly Connect. So to do this, I've successfully opened the landing page of Pabbly by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy. So as soon as we are going to open the landing page of Pabbly, we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you're a new user, you can click on sign up for free and you are going to get 100 of tasks free every month. But I'm an existing user, so I'm going to click on sign in right over here. And as soon as you are going to click on sign in, you can see that now it is opening all Pabbly apps. Over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm going to click on access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connect account. And now it is opening my dashboard. And to start with the automation, we are going to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So I want to save the workflow in this folder which is automations, and I want to name my workflow as how to create Trello cards for received email. Gmail Trello integration, and then we are going to click on create. And as soon as we are going to click on create, you can see that it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the trigger is the commander for the workflow and actions follow the commands. And as you know that we can have only a single commander but multiple followers. So over here we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the command of a trigger. So by this you can understand that the trigger is the commander for the workflow and the actions are response towards that particular command. So now we are going to select our trigger application which is email parser, because I'm going to use this to get the email we have received on our Gmail account. So I'm going to search for email parser right over here, and as you can see the same, so we are going to select it. So we are going to use this same to get the email. And now for the trigger event, we are going to select it as new email. And as soon as we are going to select this, you can see that it is providing me with this email. So we are going to use this. So I'm going to copy this first, and now we are going to open our email, and as you can see that this is my email. So now from here we are going to go on settings, and then we are going to go on see all settings. And now after opening see all settings, we are going to go on forwarding and POP/IMAP. And as you can see forwarding, and over here you can see add a forwarding address. So I'm going to click on this, and we are going to paste the same email we copied from our workflow right over here, and then we are going to click on next. And as soon as we are going to click on next, it is going to ask us for some verifications. So I'm going to do the verification right over here, and yes, you can see that I have did the verification. And as soon as we are going to complete with the verification, it is asking me forwarding mail to this. So we are going to click on proceed, and yes, you can see a confirmation link has been sent to this email to verify the permission. So we are going to click on OK right over here, and now we are going to open our workflow. And yes, you can see that we have received a response right over here, and we are going to receive the confirmation link in this response only. So I'm going to scroll and look for the body text, and as you can see body text right over here. So we are going to open this and we are going to scroll a little, and as you can see that this is the body text, and over here is a confirmation link. So I'm going to copy this confirmation link right from here. So I'm going to copy the link, And as you can see that I've copied the link successfully, and we're going to open a new tab and paste the same link right over here. So I'm going to paste it, and as soon as we're going to paste it, you can see it is saying please confirm forwarding mail of this account to this. So we are going to click on confirm right over here, and as soon as we are going to do this, you can see confirmation success. So yes, with this we have successfully created a connection between our Gmail and our Pabbly's workflow. So now what we are going to do is we are going to click on recapture response, and yes, again we are going to click on yes, because I want to capture the response of the mail received, not of the confirmation link. So I'm going to open my Gmail again, and as you can see we are going to refresh this first, and as soon as we are going to refresh this, you can see we are going to select this forwarding a copy of incoming mail to this. Keep a mail copy in the inbox too, and then we are going to click on save changes, and as soon as we are going to do this, yes, we have successfully completed this. So now we are going to do the test submission. So I'm going to open the another email, and then we are going to click on compose. We are going to select the two as the email we just now connected with the workflow. So I'm going to select the same, and now for the subject, I want the subject to be request for information on advanced data science course, and then we are going to enter the body text. Dear support team, I hope this message finds you well. Over here you can see the rest of the email content, and then we are going to click on send to send this, and as soon as we are going to click on send, you can see message sent. So I'm going to click on view message, and yes, you can see that we have successfully sent this message to the email we connected right now with the help of our workflow. So now what I want is that Pabbly should capture the response of this message, because we have did the test submission for the same. So I'm going to open my workflow and check that if Pabbly has captured the response of this message or not. So I'm going to open my workflow, and yes, you can see that Pabbly has captured the response of the same message over here. You can see request for information on advanced data science course, and yes, you can see that Pabbly has captured the response of the same message. This means that we have successfully completed our trigger step, and now we are going to move on to our action step. But before moving forward and creating a Trello card, I'm going to add a filter condition right over here. So I'm going to search for filter, and as you can see, filter by Pabbly, so we are going to select it. So filter is a feature by Pabbly which helps you to add conditions in your workflow. And now for the action event, we are going to select it as filter values, and then we are going to click on connect. So what I want to add as a filter is that if the subject of my mail is related to inquiry, query or request, then only this workflow should continue further. So for the label, I'm going to select it as subject. So I'm going to search for subject right over here, and as you can see that I've successfully searched for it, I'm going to open the response, and as you can see subject. So I'm going to map this. So now what I want is that if the subject is of request over here, if the subject contains request, so I'm going to select the filter type as contains, and then for the value I'm going to select it as request. So I'm going to enter it right over here. So I want that if the subject contains request, then only this workflow should run further, and I'm going to add the or condition also, because I want that not only request, if the subject contains query or inquiry, then only this workflow should run on further. So again, I'm going to search for subject right over here as my label. So as you can see the same, so we are going to select it. For the filter type, we are going to select it as contains, and now I want the value to be inquiry right over here, so I'm going to enter it. And now after entering it, we are again going to add an or condition, and now for the value we are going to select it as something different, which is query. So again, for the label I'm going to select it as subject, filter type as contains, and now for the value we are going to select it as query. So I'm going to enter it. So now what I want is that if the subject contains request, inquiry or query, then only this workflow should run further. Otherwise the workflow should stop right over here only, because I don't want to create a Trello card for all the emails received on my support account. I only want to use these few keywords on which I'm going to create the Trello card. So yes, you can see that I've added the filter conditions right over here successfully by adding the or condition, and now we are going to click on save and send test request. And as soon as we are going to click on save and send test request, you can see status success, message condition is true. Yes, condition is true because our subject contains request, and that's why it is saying condition is true. So yes, with this we have successfully added a filter step right over here, and now we are going to add another action step. And now in this action step, we are going to create a Trello card. So I'm going to select the action application as Trello right over here, and as you can see Trello, so we are going to select Trello. So, and now for the action event, we are going to select it as create a card with plain text type description. So I'm going to select it, and then we are going to click on connect, and as you can see that it is asking me to add a new connection or select select the existing connection. So if you have already connected your Trello account with your Pabbly's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me. Click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the username, API key and the token. So to get this, we are going to follow the help text, and it is saying enter the API key here, log into your Trello account, go to developer key, click on power up admin portal, then generate the API key. So now to directly get these details, we are going to click on this hyperlink, which is developers key. So I'm going to click on this hyperlink, and as you can see, personal key. So I'm going to copy this key, and then we're going to paste it right over here in our workflow under the API key section. And now we have to get the username and the token. So to get this, again we are going to open this hyperlink, and over here you can see token. And as you can see, most developers will need the token, and as you can see over here is again a hyperlink. You can manually generate a token right from here. So I'm going to click on this hyperlink which says token, and as soon as we are going to click on this, you can see that this is my username. So I'm going to copy this username, and then we are going to paste it right over here in our workflow. And as soon as we are going to paste the username, we now need just the token. So again we are going to open the same, we are going to scroll, and as you can see over here are all the permissions Pabbly is asking for. So I'm going to click on allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because my data is secure with Pabbly. And as soon as we are going to click on allow, you can see that this is the token we wished for. So I'm going to copy this token, and then we are going to paste it right over here in our workflow. And after pasting all of these details, we are going to click on save. And as soon as we are going to click on save, you can see that we have successfully connected our Trello account with our Pabbly's workflow. And now it is asking me to select a board. So over here you can see that this is my Trello, and over here I've created a board which is new queries. So I'm going to select the same right over here, which is new queries. And as soon as we are going to select the board, it is asking me for the list ID. So as you can see that I've only a single list right over here in my board. So that's why we are going to select it as same only, which is via Gmail. And now we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the name. So it is saying enter the name of your card. So I want the name of the card same as the subject of the email that we have received. So now we are going to map the email subject right over here in under the name section. So what does mapping mean? So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected email parser as our trigger application. So we are going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only. And as soon as we are going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received in my email parser. So I'm going to give you an example. Right over here you can see under the name I want to enter the subject. So suppose I'm entering the subject as XYZ. So then this will not change with every new received response in my email parser, because this is a static information and I've entered it manually. But if I'm going to map it from the previous response, suppose I'm going to search for subject, and as you can see the subject. So if I'm going to map this from the previous response, then this will definitely change because my previous response will also change. So that's why we do mapping right over here to run our workflow in real time. And now it is asking me for the description. So I want the description to be, first I want that email received from. So I'm going to enter email received from. So I want this to be static. So I'm entering it manually. And yes, you can see we have received this email from, and now we're going to map the email ID from which we have received the email. So I'm going to search for from right over here. And as you can see that we have received this email from this account. So I'm going to map this same account right over here. And now we're going to map the display name too. So in the brackets, I'm going to map the display name too. So I'm going to search for display name, and as you can see Ashira, so we are going to map it. So now we are going to move on forward, and then we are going to map the email content. So I'm going to add a break right over here, and then I want the email content. So I'm going to enter it, and then we are going to map it. So I'm going to search for body text right over here, and as you can see the body text, so we are going to map the same right over here. And as you can see that we have successfully completed our description, and now we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the position. So I want the position to be top, because I want that as soon as a new card is created, it should be added right over here on the top of my list. If you wish, you can definitely add it on the bottom too by selecting bottom right over here. And now we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the member ID, label ID. So as you can see that all of these details like member ID, label ID, due date and URL source are not the required details. So I'm going to leave it as blank because these are not the required. If you wish, you can definitely fill in these out. You can enter the due date on which the query should be addressed. You can enter the URL source. If you have received any attachment on your email, you can definitely add the same right over here. And then we are going to click on save and send test request because we have only entered the required details. And as soon as we're going to click on save and send test request, you can see that we have received the positive response and we have successfully successfully created a new Trello card with the help of the same details we entered right over here in our workflow. So I'm going to open my Trello and check for the new card created. So I'm going to open my Trello, and yes, you can see a new card, request for information on advanced data science course. We are going to open this, and as you can see that this is the subject, and as you can see the email that we entered, the display name, and over here is the email content. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, and I'll just test this workflow once, and this time I'm going to give you a real-time example. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my email, and we're going to do another test submission. I'm going to go on compose. I'm going to select the email which we have connected with the workflow. So I'm going to select it as to email, and as you can see the same, so we are going to select it. I want the subject to be inquiry regarding certifications program. As you can see, the subject contains inquiry this time. And now for the email content, I want it as hello, I'm interested in your certifications program and would like to obtain more details. Over here you can see the details. So yes, we are going to send this to, and we are going to do another test submission. So I'm going to send this, and yes, we can see message sent. So I'm going to click on view message, and yes, you can see that we have successfully sent a new mail too. And now what has happened is that Gmail has sent the details of our submission to our workflow. Pabbly captured the response, triggered the workflow, and further created a new Trello card with the same details. So directly I'm going to open my Trello account and check for the new card created. And this time we are not going back to our workflow and clicking on save and send test request. I'll directly open my Trello and check for the new card created. So I'm going to open my Trello right over here, and as you can see, a new card has already been created within seconds without any manual efforts. Over here you can see inquiry regarding certification program. So I'm going to open this. Over here you can see that we have received this email from, you can see the sender of this email, the display name, and the email content that we entered. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow successfully, and our workflow is running in real time too. We have tested it too. So I'll just summarize this workflow for you once. For the trigger application, we selected email parser. For the trigger event, we selected new email. For the action application, we selected filter, and then for the action event, we selected filter values, because I wanted to add a filter condition in my subject that if my subject contains request, inquiry, or query, then only this workflow should move on further. And now again for the action application, we selected Trello, and then for the action event, we selected create a card with plain text type description, because I wanted that as soon as the new mail is received, with the help of the email parser, I'm going to capture the response of that mail, and then with the help of the same details only, a new Trello card should be created. So I'm going to do all of this automation because as you know that I manage the customer support team for an edutech company, and we receive many emails daily from our students and potential customers. So now to streamline this and make sure that no query goes unanswered, I've set up this workflow, and this automation will ensure that all the emails are systematically addressed, improving our response times and customer satisfaction. And yes, we were successful with our workflow. Also over here you can see the true Trello cards I created during this video with the help of my workflow. And now my team can directly open the Trello and check for the new email received right over here. They don't have to look for the emails of the inquiries in the email inbox with the help of this simple automation. So yes, this was it for the video. So if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. I hope you liked the video. Thank you for watching. Not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly, you can integrate many more applications. So now, if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.